Welcome back to the rest of the story. As you can see, the 7600 is behind me. I've come up with a solution for the weight issue on the 7600. It really wasn't an issue. The 76 doesn't have a problem. But what I decided to go with, I'm going with cast. I bought 4 new weights for the front. We're going to be putting them in two here, and putting the outside weights on the inside because they're not John Deere weights. They're just an off-brand, but they're still the exact same weights. I just went this morning and picked them up. So this is gonna be 400 more pounds on the front. As far as this nifty, kind of rough-looking pallet box we got here, I actually have 2 cast weights for the rear rims. We're going to be putting those on too. All it is 3 bolts that are going to go on the rim. Then we're going to take the skid steer and we're going to lift them up and put them in the rims. It's 730 pounds overall that I'm putting on this. The reason being is I am not for doing fluid. Weight doesn't get old. So I mean, I bought these weights, I'll have them for the rest of my life. Because if the 7600, heaven forbid, ever goes out the driveway, which she's a good old tractor, but she's not out of the woods as far as ever being traded off, I can pull the weights back off and put them on anything else I buy. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't either, because if I buy them, I'm going to keep the weights off the tractor, including that weight bracket on the front too. Because that's how I bought it. But Ryan and I are going to go ahead and put these weights on the front. I'll show you a shot of what it looks like after that. And then we're going to put these weights on the back of the tractor. So once we get them unpackaged, I'll give you a shot of what they look like. Alright, you guys can watch us work in real time. Well, kind of. I sped this video up 4 times. But this is uncut video of us putting these rear wheel weights in. It really isn't that bad. I'll actually show it a little bit further on in this clip. There's actually 3 bolts that go through the tire rim. They actually are meant for this. You actually have to put them in through the back and push them through or hit them through with a hammer to get them started, because it's got a little bit of a edging, or not an edge. Well, I'm just going to call them teeth. That way it actually digs into the cast, so you can tighten them down with the impact or whatever else without having to put a wrench or anything on the back. You know, I didn't really show it putting them in too much here, but that's what Ryan's doing right there. He was putting the nuts on them. We originally we're actually gonna use the skid steer for putting this on, but this one weight, they are 165 pounds, which is manageable between the 2 of us. And you see, he's probably got pictures on Instagram of it. But these weights are the lighter of the styles you can get. You can stack these, which I would consider adding another set on each side if I decide I need them. But I actually opted out of the 500. They're actually 450 pound weights per side. Considerably more. I usually figure these are a little over $1 a pound as far as how much they cost. These are a little bit less because they aren't the John Deere branded weights, but weight is weight as far as I'm concerned, and they look the exact same as the John Deere weights. I like the way these rear wheel weights look. I always did. I thought they looked kind of sharp, and he's going to spin this tractor around here. But no, I always thought these rear wheel weights look kind of neat. So it really doesn't hurt me at all putting these on. It actually would be kind of interesting now, going into next year cutting hay, how well it handles the disc bind, because the disc bind would actually push it on the rear end. Both the better tires it has on it and this 300 and some pounds worth of weight, it will, well, I sure like to hope that it can handle the weight, handle the disc bind a little bit better when we're turning. Now this is actually a little bit better angle of us working. Here I'm going to hold the bolt up right there. That's what they are. Now Ryan's going to push it through the rim. And it's really simple. I guess I gave this too much credit as to how hard this would be to put these on. All together, I think it took us 45 minutes to put on the rear weights and the front weights on the tractor. I didn't film anything putting the front weights on other than the first clip that we did, or that I have on here. It really wasn't anything spectacular in putting them on. Literally, it was just whoa. It was literally just pick the pallet up with the skid steer, so it was about level with us. We didn't have to bend over to pick the weights off the pallet, and picked them up off and set them right onto the front rack. So these weights on these tractors are really straightforward and really easy to take back off too if a person decided he wanted to take them back off. Now, even these rear weights, I was really surprised at how easily we could put them on. I would ever, if I had to, take them off, or I will definitely take them off if I ever sell the tractor, because this is one of those purchases that you just don't see ever having to let it go. The tractor isn't going to lose any value in itself if I trade it in with or without the weights. And all I did as far as tightening them down, I just impacted them as tight as I could, and that's all I was really told to do with them. I'll run it for a day and then go through and tighten them up, or run the impactor on them again to see if it needs to be tightened anymore. So they really didn't give me much of a recommendation on torque specs. These are grade 10 bolts in it, but I don't know. I think it was a well-needed, much-needed addition to the 7600, and it definitely didn't hurt me. But that's all I have here for this clip, and I got a little bit more I'm going to talk to you at the end here. So, talk to you guys in a little bit. That didn't take hardly any work at all. In total, I think it took us right around a half hour. To be completely honest with you guys, I like the way it looks. I am going to go through on these weights. I'm going to get them cleaned up, and I'm going to end up spraying them all again. See, they're kind of worn. We scratched it up a little bit, but these aren't John Deere weights that we put on here. You can see that they're just a little different, more so on the bottom, and you see the outside too. But overall, I like it. Honestly, I could see me putting more weights on the front end. The back end, those rear weights, those are actually made to stack up, so it wouldn't actually take a whole lot more than what you just saw us do to mount them on the rear rims originally. Actually, it's too dark back there, I'd show you. But literally all I have to do is just buy the hardware and another set of rear weights. And the way those rims are made on the 76, the holes actually line up in the rim that I can actually put the bolts through on top of these weights that are already on here. I really would consider putting on another set of weights on the rear and putting a full rack of weights on the front end. I just like the way it looks. I always had the intention of putting weights on the 7600. I just never really got around to it and really didn't have a strong enough reason to justify it. But weight never gets old. These weights will be around for forever. Say if I ever do replace it with a large frame 7000 or even like a 7530, 7430, maybe even like a 7520, believe it or not, I would consider it. Those weights will be here for forever. And kind of funny, I did all this with the New Holland hat on. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Hopefully, if the weather straightens out and dries out, we can get some footage of actually putting this weight to work and actually get carried on here with harvest, because we have plenty of work to do. But with that, take care, take it easy, keep in touch.